Hey guys, Baddies Midwest, episode 6. Let's talk about the fake nonsense going on. So remember we left off with Ivori about to attack Big Lex. So they went their first round, and Akbar was still mouthing off like, oh, basketball girl, it's not looking too good for you. But after that second and third round I think they had, and Ivori was looking like this, Akbar was changing that tune. It was, oh, basketball girl could fight, and she not scared to take a hit because Ivori was throwing them too. So now you don't want to pop that shit to her no more. Now you don't want beef with her no more. Like, Lex should have really just smacked Akbar just because Akbar is the one who led her into that room with Jayla and Ivori. And you see Lex look just fine, and then Ivori talking about she a clout chaser. You started with that girl. We're not going to forget what happened. You started with her. You thought that she wasn't on nothing. Remember? On the bus, you said they wasn't on nothing. She wasn't doing enough for you. Now she on your ass, and you calling her a clout chaser. Fuck out of here, Ivori. Like I said, it's giving Lex knotted me up. So Ivori tried to go up to Jayla and Akbar like, do I got knots? Knots where? You see Jayla face. She ain't want to say it to that girl face that she was knotted the fuck up. And Lex was looking fine. Look at their faces. Look at Jayla and Rolly and Akbar. So Ivori went running upstairs to check that face out. So Jayla kept still trying to go back and forth with Lex, basically trying to tell her to still show some respect. And Lex was like, girl, do you want to get it or not? Because if not, I said what I said. It was my opinion from watching the show. I'm not going to keep going back and forth about it. So unless you want to run it again, shut up. Jayla was like, oh, you know, you're on the show now. People might feel a way about you. People might have opinions about you. And Lex was like, I understand that. And Jayla was like, you thinking that you have merit to voice your opinion is the problem. But she does actually have a right to voice her opinion because there's people like me who review the show all the time and voice our opinions. And we don't know exactly what's going on. We only know what we see. So if she get in y'all face and she want to voice her opinion, she's able to do that. I just don't think it needed to become a whole beef. So Jayla ends up leaving. And Lex was just talking to Rolly and Akbar, and she was like, I feel like I humbled the F out of Ivori because she thought it was sweet coming and trying to keep fighting me, and she ended up leaving with a knot in a black eye. And like I said, Lex basically looks untouched. So Tinkerbella came in, and she was basically asking Lex, why does she really have a problem with Jayla, especially over something that she wasn't really here to see and she doesn't have anything to do with. So Lex was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't really have a problem. I was just stating my opinion. But Jayla said she wanted smoke. Like, she was offended by what I said, and she wanted smoke. And I wasn't ducking the fate. So at this point, they fought. It should have been able to be over. But based on what we heard, Jayla said her and Lex fought like 4 times this season. And I think she lost every time. And she kept using the excuse of how she was 34 and Lex was 21 or 22. Like Lex said, it's giving Jayla's old and she need to go sit down if that's how she feel. So Natalie calls Tinkerbella and Scotty, telling them that they about to go outside. And Tinkerbella was like, yeah, we need to get out of this house because everybody's fighting left and right. Even Scotty had another fight. So Natalie was like, oh my God, Scotty, you had another fight? This is a new season, huh, guys? Like, girl, you know you happy Scotty fighting. And you really want somebody to beat Scotty up. So we see everybody getting ready for the clubs. So they on their way to the club, and Scotty got Capri. And I think Tinkerbella was like, Scotty, so we gonna be cleaning up dog shit in the club? And she like locked Capri behind some door on the back of the bus. Like, girl, you could have just left him home. So Summer was just saying how that girl who attacked her when they went to the club the other day was somebody who she had an issue with from the auditions in Detroit. So she don't actually know this girl from off the show. It's all stemming from Baddies and the auditions. So hopefully Summer won't have any more altercations once they leave Detroit. But Natalie was like, you know, that is a thing. They definitely do come and pull up. Even how we seen the other baddies getting stuff thrown at them and stuff while they was in the club, you know. So Summer was basically telling Natalie, like, she don't care about the girl from the auditions who attacked her, and she don't care about Mariah either. So Akbar was like, which Mariah? Carrie? And Summer was like, no, the one whose job I took. So, you know, Natalie decided to be messy and was like, well, she's talking about Mariah Lynn, so I might as well call Mariah Lynn on FaceTime and see what she has to say. So Mariah was like, oh, she needs to enjoy her 15 minutes of fame. But it's like, Mariah, are you not embarrassed? You went from being a cast member to having a phone call appearance, and we couldn't even hear you. And now you sit on TikTok live every day begging for coins and gifts. And Akbar was in her confessional like, oh, Summer just be popping it about everybody. At first, I liked her, but she's a lot to deal with. Well, the difference between you and Summer is that Summer pops it at everybody in their face. You pop it about everybody too, but you just pop it in them confessionals. So what you going to do when everybody see them confessionals? So they got to the club, and Scotty was like, oh, are these fans here for me? Don't be trying to play Scotty, y'all. Now, Scotty don't got no music like the rest of the girls, but y'all know when people go to see the baddies, I'm sure they thinking about seeing Scotty with the body. They want to see her twerking. Stop playing with Scotty. Because I saw some people like trying to play her like she don't got no fans. Now, Yoshi, you didn't do nothing this whole episode. They kept showing you in passing, like walking into the club and stuff. You didn't even have a confessional, baby. And I see next week Natalie talking about, you know, everybody's not going to be coming with us to the next city. Like she's doing eliminations. And I just feel like Yoshi can go. And low-key Jasmine can go too. So everybody performed. Natalie, Jaden, Tesehki, Tinkerbella. Biggie. Then they let Jasmine Renee perform, and Natalie was like, the people knew her songs because they were in her city. She's from Detroit. She said she's the princess of Detroit, and that the fans seemed happy that they had a Detroit native for Baddies Midwest. And then lastly, we finally got to see Akbar perform. She was actually the only person besides Jasmine who we were able to hear their music this week. So I guess since we got to see everybody else perform last week and actually hear their music this week, we only heard Jasmine and Akbar. Ivori came walking in looking stupid, looking mad, looking beat up. But she said when she arrived to the club, she was feeling great and she was feeling good. Does that look like the face of somebody who's feeling good and feeling great? So the fans started yelling DTB. Once again, it seems like Natalie did not have DTB on the set list. Like, did the DJ not have her music ready? Why wasn't she just set to perform like everybody else? But after the people shouted her name enough, she ended up getting on the mic. She starts performing this song she has where it's like, whoop that hoe, whoop that trick, whoop that bit. And you know how Nuck If You Buck has that effect in the club where when it plays, sometimes people will start fighting for real? That's what happened with Diamond's song. So everybody in the club started fighting, or at least a few people started fighting. And I was just like, are y'all serious? But like I said, music does carry energy, and especially when you mix up people drinking, like I have seen people fight when Nuck If You Buck comes on, especially if they're under the influence. So it looked like as soon as the fight broke out, all the baddies left. And Akbar was like, it seemed like wherever these girls go, they gonna get into a fight. They can't shake the drama, just like how I can't shake that ex who keep calling me. It's real bad. So I'm starting to see why Akbar didn't make it all the way through the season. She's clearly not feeling all of this drama. She probably don't feel like they're having enough fun. And I low-key feel like it was probably in her contract that she had to stay until Tommy came. Because the main beef that they was clearly lining up was Akbar and Tommy. We haven't seen them sit down since they had the conversation on Zeus. So that's why I said I could see that being in her contract. And she probably leaves as soon as Tommy comes and pulls out that BB. Now, Rolly talking about she ain't go to the club for the second night in Detroit because she's still healing from her surgery. But you went the first night. I feel like Rolly didn't go the second night because she probably said, I'm not fucking with Detroit no more, because that first night they was booing her and they was throwing stuff at her from the crowd. And if she's still healing from her surgery, she's probably like, listen, I'm not trying to fight no extras. I already might get into it with some of these girls in the house this season. So she decided to stay home. So they all getting on the bus, and Natalie told them that they're going to an activity, and Rolly was like, well, y'all already know Natalie and activity don't mix, so I know it's going to be some shit today. But they're on their way to pick up the new girls along with Biggie, Tinkerbella, and Diamond, who are all at the house. So as they get on the bus, Akbar is like, I'm tired of all this drama. I just want to chill, live life, and be cute, in her confessional. But then as soon as they sit down on the bus, she starts asking everybody, did they hear or see Jayla and Lex's fight? Here you go, bringing back up more drama and engaging in conversations about drama, but you claim you don't want no parts of the drama and you tired of the drama. I cannot tell. And Akbar has always been somebody who's been in drama since she was on Love and Hip Hop, so I don't know who she thinks she's fooling. So Jayla explains to everybody what happened with her and Lex. Then once again, Akbar is like, oh, Scotty, what happened with your fight? So Scotty explains what happened with her and Emma. And then Scotty was like, well, Natalie likes Emma. And Natalie was trying to play dumb like, oh, I don't know her. So Jayla was like, oh, you hanging with her ops, bitch? And Tesehki and Akbar was looking at Natalie crazy like, and Scotty was like, yeah, you were saying Emma is so fun and it's serious to me because you unfollowed me because of DJ Sky. So apparently Natalie don't like DJ Sky anymore, or at some point she had beef with her. I don't know. And she must have got mad at Scotty because Scotty was still cool with DJ Sky and still was following her. So Natalie got mad at Scotty, told her she's always saying some dumb ditzy shit and that she does like Emma and she's going to make her a star because Scotty's annoying. And from what we see going on present day, we can expect Natalie and Scotty's friendship to get more and more distant throughout this season, because right now it seems like Natalie's trying to get rid of Scotty and replace her with Emma. She's been doing her whole press run, and usually she would have Scotty by her side for that, but she's had Emma, Big Lex, and Jayla. So Diamond, Tinkerbella, and Biggie are basically waiting for Natalie and the girls to come pick them up. So Diamond is just like, she got to be ready for Pretty P today. So she put some of these lemons in this bowl right here in her bra. And she was like, she going to smash them on her head if she come at her. So Tinkerbella took some of the lemons too and was like, me too. And she was like, Biggie, you need to throw a lemon with us today. Like basically saying if somebody come at you, you need to throw a lemon. But also if somebody come at one of your sisters or your friends, you need to throw a lemon. So they just still trying to encourage Biggie to jump into shit that she don't need to be jumping into. And Biggie is weak-minded, so she will be cracking. So then Biggie was like, I'm getting a call. And Tinkerbella was like, from who, your nigga? And I'm like, didn't Biggie tell all of y'all that her boyfriend died on Baddies Caribbean? And that she just came here crying about it? Like literally on the last episode, she was crying with you, Diamond, and Anna and Tesehki. So to me, there's no way that Tinkerbella is not aware that Biggie's boyfriend passed away, right? So why would she say, who's calling you, your nigga? Like, that was mad weird to me. But anyway, it was Natalie calling Biggie. And Natalie's basically telling Biggie to get the girls ready to go. They're almost there. And Diamond and Biggie are like, why did you leave us in here with all these newbies? And Natalie is like, I really don't understand what they're complaining about. I've done this a million times. And Diamond was like, we're the OGs. We're returning. And Biggie was like, you guys are not OGs. I don't really consider Diamond and Tinkerbella OGs. I feel like you have to do 2 seasons at least to be considered an OG. But then again, I don't know, because I feel like there are certain people who did 1 season, and if they came back, majority of the audience wouldn't have a problem with them being considered an OG. Like if Stunner Girl came back, I don't think nobody would have a problem with her being considered an OG. If Razor came back, I don't think nobody would have a problem with her being considered an OG. But, you know. But Biggie is like, yeah, you are more of an OG than Diamond and Tinkerbella, but yet y'all are in the same boat. So the only person who should feel crazy about that is you. That you not getting respected and being put into the positions that you should be in after being here for 4 or 5 seasons, like Scotty and Rolly. And Tinkerbella basically told Biggie she don't give a F about being an OG or not. So now we get into the start of the fake bullshit. So Dolly, Ivori, Summer, all the newbies are coming out of the house. And Dolly's in her confessional like, I felt like being a sweet apple today, but we just gonna have to see. Now when she gets on the bus, it literally looks like Ivori hugged Ahna. And then Ahna, you see her smiling and having her hand up. And it looks like she's looking directly at Dolly, who's walking towards her or past her. So it's giving me y'all were cool. And then Ahna was in her confessional like, I hope we can have a good day and nobody picks a fight because we're all looking good. So while they're riding to this activity, Natalie was basically saying how maybe we should go and record a song for real, like all together. Now, I don't think that's a bad idea because most of the baddies have been trying their hand at music and most of them have been going viral to some extent. And they are doing these club hostings together. So like Natalie said, if they are able to get to some type of level of professionalism, they could be putting out like a baddie soundtrack where they all have a couple of songs that they put out that went viral around that season and they make it like a compilation album. And then they could kind of tour those songs in like, small theaters, small venues. I don't know if people would actually buy the tickets, but like I said, it's worth a try, especially if they're going to be professional about it. Because, we got Akbar, Rolly, Biggie, Tesehki, Anna Mac, Natalie, Ivori, Jaden, Tinkerbella, Diamond. They all have music. Because Natalie was slightly dragging it. She was like, we could sell out arenas. Y'all not selling out no arenas and stadiums now. But theaters, I might give you. So Biggie was really excited. She like, oh yeah, I definitely want to get on this song that Natalie's talking about. What's the word? What we doing? And Rolly was like, I love doing music, but I don't know about getting on the song with the baddies. Because you might have a fight with a girl one day, and now you're not cool with her no more, but you stuck with a music video and a song with her. I get what she was saying, but at the end of the day, girl, so many female rappers have songs together and then end up having beef. That's nothing new. Cardi and Megan, Motorsport. Nicki and Megan, Hot Girl Summer. Those songs are still hits, even though those girls are not friends anymore. And a lot of people, honestly, will hold on to those songs because we know that we'll never get another collaboration with those 2 people again. So it's not always bad for that to happen, honestly. So Rolly said that the best rapper on the bus was Akbar. I don't really love Akbar's style of rap, but I will say that she probably is one of the best rappers, if not the best rapper on the bus, and she's definitely the most accomplished. Let's not forget that Akbar has a feature with Nicki Minaj. So Rolly and Jayla was just giving Akbar her 10s. Anna on the side talking about Natalie really got a fat cat. And then all of a sudden, Biggie's like, oh, let me go to the back of the bus and smoke my shit. And everybody's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And Tinkerbella was like, fine, Biggie, you're the best rapper. Like, is that what you wanted to hear? So Biggie was like, okay, thank you, Tinkerbella, because Rolly just be talking. Like, Biggie was the last person I was thinking about when I was thinking about who's the best rapper on this bus. Biggie was like, oh, back then, Akbar might have been one of the hottest rappers. Super Freaky Girl Remix came out in 2023 or 2022, I believe, right? Like, recently. And then she says, but in 2024, I'm one of the hottest rappers out. How? You have 1 song with Tesehki. I don't see Biggie at any on the radar, from the block. I don't see her on any hip hop platforms, rapping, doing freestyles, promoting her music. So what makes her think she's one of the hottest rappers out here? The delusion is insane. But this was Diamond's face the whole time. Diamond faces had me crying, I'm not gonna lie. So Akbar got all in Biggie face and started rapping, like doing a rap battle with her. And Biggie was like, okay, that's fine. Of course, she didn't have nothing ready to spit back, but you're one of the hottest rappers out. All she had was that mouth to run, talking about, oh, Akbar probably wrote that 3 or 4 weeks ago, this, that, and the third. But you don't have nothing to say. You don't have a rap to reply with. Now, Biggie ate that one little thing when she said to Akbar, you can stand on it, stand 12 toes down like you do, because Akbar has 12 toes.
You can stand 12 toes down on them toes like you do. Stand 12 toes down on them toes like you do.
So Natalie was like, I guess it's looking like we're not going to be able to do a baddie song right now. And Biggie just kept trying to say, who is she? Who is she? Like, Biggie, nobody knows you who doesn't watch baddies. Who are you? More people know Akbar than you. Akbar has been on Love and Hip Hop, a bigger show than Baddies, an actual TV network show. She's been on Baddies with you. She's been on The Conversation with Tommy. And she's been on a Nicki Minaj song. Akbar is more well-known than you. I need you to get that through your head. So Jaden was like, at the end of the day, Biggie's not up there with Akbar. I thought the whole thing that they had going on the bus was funny, but we need to get it together. Like, can we just go pick these apples and stop fighting? So they finally get to the Franklin cider mill. This lady comes out explaining to them how her grandfather owned it. Then her father owned it, and now she owns it. So it's been in her family for generations since the 1800s. Summer was like, I don't know. This is giving me Trump territory. I'm trying to get in and get out. So the lady tells them that they're going to split up into 3 groups so that they can rotate and do the 3 activities that they have here at the mill. So I'm going to explain what was really going on first, and then I'm going to give my opinions. So Tesehki confirmed that Ahna and Dolly set this whole thing up, because remember we saw Ahna wearing Dolly's hat. So everybody was like, it seems like they're cool and they're playing some type of game. Yeah, they were. I don't know if they're cool now, but they were cool enough at this point to set this up. Because remember I said Natalie's getting rid of people next week, and up until this point, Bad Dolly hadn't gotten into any altercations. So Dolly pushing Ahna was fake. Ahna and Dolly both agreed to it. Tesehki confirmed this, and Akbar also confirmed it and said, this is true. I was there when it was put together, but Tesehki wasn't told from Ahna. So it was Tesehki instincts to slide for her friend, but it was scripted. Ahna and Dolly both agreed to argue. So everybody was in on the plan except for Tesehki, which is why when Tesehki finally went and actually started hitting Dolly, you heard Ahna in the back like, Tifa, no, Tifa, no. Because Latifah is Tesehki's real name. So she was calling her real name probably to try to get Tesehki to notice, like, girl, snap out of it. This is not real. And you don't need to beat this girl up. So to me, Dolly and Ahna are still lame. Ahna still is scary. And Dolly still give me the type of person who will nitpick and bully somebody and keep asking them over and over again, do they want smoke? But then on top of that, Dolly, you're now giving me production pet, which makes you even more lame and weak to me. Like, she's basically another Nunu. Somebody that the production said, oh, okay, we could use you for a storyline to have with Ahna. And you just went for it and kept going with it just like Nunu did last season. I don't got no respect for that shit. But anyway, back to the recap and the order of events. So when they told them that they were going to get split up, Dolly was like, oh, Ahna, and don't think we don't got smoke, and pushed her. Mind you, she got a smirk on her face while she's doing that. So Tesehki's like, don't push her. And she pushes Dolly back and was like, you're not fighting her. Dolly throws her drink in Tesehki's face. Tinkerbella throws her drink in Dolly's face. So neither one of them can really see, but they did both have a different reaction to that. Dolly turned her back to Tesehki because she had all that alcohol in her eyes and she couldn't see, and I guess her eyes was burning. Tesehki had alcohol in her eyes too, but she started punching. Now, I will say, once Dolly started getting punched on, she did start punching back. But you should have never turned your back to Tesehki after throwing a drink in her face, period. I don't feel like the camera got the best angles of this fight. Like, it was too far away for us to really see exactly what was going on. But I do think Tesehki took the win, even though it was a quick fight. But I will say that Dolly wasn't scared, and she was keeping up. Similar to what E.T. did. When Tesehki and E.T. fought, E.T. kept up with Tesehki, but she still lost, and she still got beat up. But according to Jasmine Renee, who was there, she said that when Dolly threw that drink at Tesehki, at that moment she effed up because Tesehki ate that B up. Bop, 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 bop. Now, I will say after the fight, both ladies were smiling. You could see Tesehki smiling over here, even though she has that hair covering her face. She's laughing and smiling while her and Ahna are walking to the bathroom. And then Dolly's here with Diamond laughing and smiling on the bus. And I saw a lot of people saying, why was Tesehki's hair covering her eye? Her hair was already kind of covering her eye. Like, you could see she had the deep side part that was already basically covering her eye here. So I don't necessarily think she was hiding anything. So Dolly told Natalie that she would run it with Tesehki again. And in her confessional, she was like, I didn't have no beef with Tesehki, but I guess if you beef with her friend, you beef with her. So that's what it turned into. Which makes me bring up another point. I saw a lot of people bigging up Dolly for what she did at the end of the episode when she defended Summer against Pretty P. But a lot of y'all got an issue with Tesehki defending Ahna against Dolly. It's the same thing. Summer and Ahna do the same thing. They both can't really fight, and they both be running their mouth. So the same way Dolly defended Summer, her friend who be running her mouth and can't fight, Tesehki defended Ahna, her friend who be running her mouth and can't fight that good and clearly don't be wanting to fight certain people. So Dolly was talking to Diamond and she was like, I told you that's how this was going to happen. And I told you if it happened, it happened, and I'm glad it did. So I guess they had spoke before, and Dolly probably was like, I know Tesehki might get involved. And Diamond was just like, I love you, Mississippi. You not scared of nothing. Team dark skin, da 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 da. Now, to an extent, do I feel like Diamond was being genuine? Yes. But I also feel like she's happy that somebody else fought Tesehki. And somebody else is here who's not scared of Tesehki and will keep getting into it with her. Because Dolly's saying, I'll run it with her again and again and again. Diamond didn't want to keep running it with Tesehki. So she probably has a lot of respect for Dolly, and she likes Dolly, and she wants to amp her up to see if she can be that person to keep up with Tesehki and not be scared to keep running around with her. So Scotty and Rolly had peeped it, and Scotty was like, what is Diamond doing back there? And Rolly was like, well, Diamond's a troll, so just let her troll. But I am going to clock it again. Y'all was all talking about how Tesehki was jealous of Diamond because of what she said in her confessional that day. But clearly Diamond is still being shady to Tesehki too by doing this. So I don't really want to hear nothing. At this point, Tesehki and Diamond are frenemies. They had the fight, they deaded the beef, but they both still probably got an underlying issue with each other. So whenever they can, they probably going to throw a little shade at each other. So Tesehki, Ahna, Biggie, and Jayla was in the bathroom dancing, talking about we beating bitches' ass, we beating bitches' ass, we beating bitches' ass. And Tesehki was saying how Dolly could get beat up again and again and again. So I don't know why they didn't let them have a round two. They always letting people have round two. I guess you could say they didn't want to do it because they was outside. But it's like, that's the BS with y'all not staying in the same house. Because it's like, okay, so then when do they have the opportunity to run it again? If the only time that they're together is when you guys are supposed to be doing activities because they're not staying in the same house. So they finally break off into their groups to do their activities. And of course, they had them in these messy groups. Group 1 had Scotty and Emma and Big Lex and Ivori. And then you see this other group that Natalie's walking with has Tinkerbella and Pretty P. So out of nowhere, we start hearing Pretty P talking to Tinkerbella like, oh, God bless you with that mouth and that ass because you're ugly. And I'm just like, who told her that she was that cute? So yeah, I don't know why Pretty P kept mouthing off at Tinkerbella randomly while they outside doing something. It's giving me a possible another scripted situation. So Tinkerbella told Natalie to move. And she moved from in the middle of them here, and they ended up going at it. It was so quick, I slowed it down, nothing connected. Then here comes Diamond with this mouth guard and running from the back and hitting Pretty P in the back of the head again. And then ended up like this. So it's like, Diamond, you need to stop. Like, you need to stop. Then Summer decides that she wants it with Pretty P. Why Summer really wanted to fight Paula, I have no idea. But Paula was like, oh, she see me fighting two people, so now she want to fight. I'm not scared. I'll run it with all of y'all. Well, Paula, now you know how it feels. Wasn't Big Lex going at it with Ivori and you decided to randomly hit Big Lex because you wanted to impress Ivori and you saw her having beef with somebody else? Summer talking about, I'm the one with the big mouth. So I'm like, are you mad at her because she's talking? Like, is she's being loud like you? But yeah, like I said, Paula was calling everybody ugly. And like I said, I'm not saying she's ugly, but I'm just saying, who told her that she was that cute, that she should have her name be Pretty P, and that she should be running around calling everybody else ugly? Because it's not really giving that. They finally go into the Apple place. Tinkerbella's like, we're finally having fun, something you girls don't know how to do. No, I think all of us that are watching the show know how to have fun. I don't know if you guys know how to have fun without having a fight first or without drinking. Tinkerbella and Natalie was trying to get all of the staff at the place to sing her song. Mind you, they were all Caucasian people. They were blurred out. Their faces were blurred out. They clearly didn't sign the release to be on Zeus. I'm like, why are you trying to force them to sing your song? They don't know that. So Diamond was like, oh, I can't chew on this side. And Natalie was like, yeah, well, your missing tooth has gone viral. Like, girl, you don't have to keep saying that. We know. So the ladies leave, and when they get back on the bus, Scotty realizes that Emma is sitting in the back of the bus. Now, if I was Emma, would I be sitting in the back of the bus to eat my food instead of be eating my food and all that chaos and people yelling and spitting all over my food and stuff? Yes. So I do understand why Emma was sitting in the back. She just wanted to enjoy her food in peace. But Emma, you came on the show and started with Scotty for no reason and was picking a fight with her because she's boring. So now she picked a fight with you because you're giving boring too. You're sitting in the back of the bus, eating your food, not interacting with the rest of the girls from what we can see. And like I said, this whole episode, you, Yoshi, Jasmine, y'all barely had any camera time. And it doesn't really seem like y'all brought much to the show or the hosting. Like I said, Scotty might not do music, but every time they go to the club, we always see Scotty turning up, twerking, having a good time, being the life of the party. I didn't really see that from Emma. I didn't see Emma, Yoshi, or Jasmine at all. Well, actually, I did see Jasmine because she performed. But I didn't see Emma or Yoshi at all. So yeah, Emma, Scotty kind of clocked you. She said, I'm not boring, you are. Tinkerbella was being funny, and she brought Emma up and was like, this might be Emma, and she runs the South, the same way Natalie had introduced Scotty on Baddies South. And Scotty was like, all I know is can't no B call me boring when she in the back of the bus. And Emma was like, you are boring. I'm just back there because I want to eat my food in peace. And Emma was all like, I'm not about to keep going back and forth with you. Like I said, Scotty is being petty. And I do understand why Emma is at the back of the bus, but you got what you got. It's an eye for an eye. You came being petty with her because you picking with Scotty was based off of nothing. If anything, Lex's issue with Jayla kind of was more sensible, even though it didn't make sense. If that's how she felt, I could see that. Like, okay, you feel like somebody's a bully. You might come into the show not really feeling them. Even though I don't personally feel like Jayla bullied Gretch or Biggie. But you cannot tell me that you feel like somebody's boring, so you want to come in and fight them or not like them. So Dolly and Summer rode back in one car and Pretty P rode back in another car. They both got there before the rest of the ladies. So when Dolly and Summer walked in, Dolly was all like, oh, run me that again. They was both taking their shoes off and stuff. So Dolly seemed like she was ready to go another round with Tesehki and or Tinkerbella because she also peeped how Tinkerbella had threw the drink at her. And Summer was obviously ready for Pretty P. So as soon as Paula came in, she ran up on Summer. And I'm not going to lie, it looked like Paula didn't really do nothing that time. Summer actually had a hold on Paula's hair. So Dolly was in the back cheering Summer on like, yeah, exactly. And Dolly was in her confessional like, you know, I fuck with Summer, that's my bitch, but y'all know she cannot fight. She got a lot of mouth and she cannot fight. And I feel like Paula already whooped her numerous times and she's still trying to keep fighting her, and I'm not with that. So Paula kept saying to Summer, I'm on your ass, I'm on your ass. And then Dolly just came out of nowhere and was like, you ain't on her ass, you on mine. And she ran up on Paula and started hitting her. But the episode ends there. So next week on episode 7, we finish seeing Bad Dolly versus Paula. We see another round of Paula versus Summer. We see another round of Summer versus Jasmine Renee. We see the ladies go to the skating rink. And when it's finally time for them to leave to go to the next city, which it looks like is going to be Cleveland, Natalie says, all of you guys aren't going to be joining us to the next city. Does anybody have anything they want to get off their chest? Akbar tells Biggie that she doesn't defend herself or take up for herself, but she's always talking. Biggie throws something at Akbar, and it looks like they're getting ready to square up. At the same time, Summer runs up on Jasmine Renee again. Then Jaden and Biggie get into it, and Jaden throws some flowers at Biggie. And it looks like they end up fighting. So everybody wanted to see Biggie fight and stand up for herself this season, so we're finally going to see that. I hope Jaden turns Biggie every way but loose. And if her and Akbar fight, I hope Akbar wins that too. So then we see Natalie like, oh, Baddies Cleveland. But then we see the bus is stuck in the mud. So here we go with the bus breakdowns and shit again. And Summer was like, oh, we stuck in the mud because of that one, and pointed at Jasmine Renee. And Jasmine was like, what are you obsessed with me? Do you want to live inside my cat? And then they going to include that clip that went viral of Tesehki falling off the stage. So I'll see y'all next week for episode 7 of Baddies Midwest. Bye.